tell me about you and your content.
Okay, well, welcome to the Craft Illusions Workshop. My name is Karen D. The rumor is true. It is my name. You heard it here first. That is not the exclusive announcement. I am a wood burning artist. What we do over here is a wood burning art. So basically, I get to play with fire. I have a wonderful little wood burning wand here that I touch to wood, and we create some beautiful art over here. All of my art that I do is original artwork. Occasionally, I will do some other types of, like I've done Pokemon, I've done some Star Wars, but those are basically created as giveaways that I've done for other creators during their charity campaigns. But otherwise, all the work that I do here is all original art. And I do have a shop that's kind of light on inventory. It does take a while to create what I do, so it's very time consuming. But that's what we do over here. Sometimes we sing. I'm also a singer, so I do some singing. And every once in a while, I built my first Lego set last year on stream. It's not finished. But we hope to finish that. I haven't touched it because number one, I started. I did a makeover on my studio at the end of last year through the beginning of this year, and that kind of put things to the side, a lot of things to the side to get the space to where you see it now. But I am planning to bring that back in and finish that set. And I also try to do some other things sometimes. I mean, I've delved in all different types of art mediums, crafts, painting, sculpting, just different things. But mostly my focus is on what I do with my wood burning. So that's what I do here. We're here every Sunday afternoon. I stream only once a week. I have a regular 9 to 5 job that's quite demanding and takes a lot of brain power. So in my evenings, when I do want to kind of decompress from that, because I do work from home, I'll come in here and I'll sit and I'll do my art, and that helps to decompress. So Sunday afternoons is really the only day that I stream. Not every Sunday, but generally I try to do every Sunday. And it's just a chill vibe. It's we just kind of hang out. We talk about art. We have some laughs. I just want to create a space that is basically to help you unwind from that week and get you ready for the week ahead. And so we keep it kind of chill and relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that rundown. I think your stream is incredibly unique for a number of reasons. The wood burning alone, but like the fact that you're so varied, and then the singing as well. I thought that was cool. I think the first time I heard you do that, I was like, this is great. She can sing too. That's amazing. I love the collection of things that you do. And so that's incredible. Now, I really just want to learn, like, what made you want to kind of bring that all onto Twitch, like start streaming it? What got you to that point?
I think to hold myself accountable to create my art. I wasn't, I had a lot of other things going on in my life. And unfortunately, those things took a little bit more precedence. And so I was constantly battling myself on how do I balance the things that I want to do and my responsibilities with work and that sort of thing. So I think just to hold myself accountable and give myself the okay to do my art, which I've always done my art, don't get me wrong. But sometimes we get involved in other things, and other things that we really enjoy and fulfill us get pushed to the side. And so starting to stream just kind of gave me that place and that to share that. And I'd been on Twitch for a little while, and so I thought, why not? Let's do this, and then maybe I can really dive into my art. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful thing for me to do, to continue to create.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I'm glad that you decided to start doing that as a form of accountability, because I I in similar ways have used streaming and the regular schedule of a stream to
Mm-hmm.
tell myself, yes, this is the time that I will make for, you know, crossing the streams or Lego or whatever, you know, the things that I find really interesting and I want to make sure I carve out the time for. That's how a lot of it started for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that not enough people actually who enjoy their work or their craft, whatever it might be,
Mm-hmm.
think of streaming in that way. Some people are like, oh, I wish I had more time to do the thing, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes I will respond with schedule maybe an hour a week or 2
You
hours
got
a
to be
week.
selfish.
Yeah,
I'm incredibly selfish. This
yeah.
is for me. I don't care about y'all. This is for me. I'm just kidding. I love you guys.
No, I love that.
But the
No,
truth of the matter is you do have to be selfish because we have so many things going on in our lives that we forget about us.
mhm.
And we are the most important thing in our life. And if we forget to take care of ourselves, we forget to make that time to do the things that we enjoy, then we are not healthy. We are not, we're grumpy. We're not, we don't want to, you're not someone anyone wants to be around because you're not yourself. You're not partaking in the things that make you who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's incredibly important for people to remember that. And I know a lot of people get up and say, oh, I just don't have the time for that. Or I can't make the time for that because I'm so involved in this or whatever. And it's like, you're doing yourself a disservice by not diving in to your passion. Now, look, I love my job. I have a great job. I love my job. I devote it to it. It has my time, that's that time for that. So outside of that, this is my time for this, for me to be who I am.
Mm. You were talking about doing things for yourself, right? Being able to
Yes.
take that time and take care of you, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally appreciate that perspective. I think a lot of us, I mean, you and I were talking about it before the episode too, about me making sure that I am taking care of me, not burning myself out. I'm on this partner push. I've been streaming a regular schedule, but also for the vast majority of those streams, going a little longer to make sure that I really
Yeah.
like put in the time. And it's
Mhm.
yeah, thank you for that reminder of like make sure you're not burning yourself out, that you're not overdoing it. And it's something that we need to be very mindful of, right? And make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And to connect it to your answer of the question of like why do you do it on Twitch? It's also to hold yourself accountable to give yourself some time for you to do some of these things that you enjoy and do it on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoy sharing. I love to share what I do. I think, I'm older and, in my day, we didn't have these platforms and ways to share, you got in a room with a group of people that maybe you knew or didn't know, and you didn't have the opportunity to spend as much time with. So it's just a different environment. It's a different place, but it's still what has been one of the best opportunities to be able to share what I do. And I don't know everything about what I'm doing, but I certainly do my best to try. And I'm learning something every piece I make. I'm learning something, and so I'm able to share that. And that's also part of the joy that comes with being on here. Is sharing.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
We have so many wonderful people on this platform. It's unbelievable. We're so lucky.
Yes, I agree. And I don't know if it's the space that we're in. I believe that's a part of it.
Yeah.
The makers and crafters side of things and all the
Huge.
Lego people. Like I think that is a big part of it because I talk about this from time to time. I've been all over Twitch as a purely gaming streamer, as purely a Lego streamer, as purely a talk show. I've done a little bit of everything where that was my focus for many months, in some cases a year or more. And the makers and crafters and Lego groups have probably been the most kind and just welcoming people that I've ever met on Twitch.
Supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, incredibly supportive, which leads me to ask, what do you like most about your community and the people that you're connected to on the platform? What are the things that you love the most about it?
My community, basically, I don't consider them my community. And the reason I say that is my community is everybody's community,
Yeah.
because everybody comes from everywhere. And I consider my stream kind of a bridge to others as well, because we're constantly talking about other areas of makers and crafting, art, science, IRL, all the different areas that in the creative categories, the music. I have I have two. I have a command called create on my channel. And in that command are other commands. So exclamation point guitar, exclamation point pyro, exclamation point Lego. If you do any of those commands, it will bring up other streamers in those specific categories. I have been all over this platform since I have been on Twitch, and I have met a lot of people. And some are very small streamers, and some are larger streamers. And there's some that don't even, others that don't even know that they exist. So I feel it's because I know about it and I'm on this platform and I'm about supporting everyone and sharing. I want to make it available, because I have a lot of people come in and they'll say, "Well, I didn't know there was people doing leather working on this platform. I didn't know anyone was metal working. I didn't know people were building guitars. Are you kidding me?" Like, so it's like, okay, so how can we, because number one, I can't remember how to spell everybody's username, so I can't be shouting them out. And and my mods don't know everybody either. I mean, of course, Miro knows everybody, but but not all the time. And so it just makes it kind of an easier way. Instead of having to do shout outs all the time, we can say, "Oh yeah, exclamation point guitar, please go check out our luthiers on this platform. They're amazing. They're building guitars. They're teaching people how to do it. They're sharing their knowledge, what have you." Our tinkerers, our woodworkers, our, just all the things. And so that was the easiest way for me to be able to point people in the right direction to find other content that appealed to them. And I always let them know that, hey, I only have so many, I have a character limit in these commands. So there's only a limited amount of people. I'm constantly updating it, and I'm constantly adding to it all the time. Look at those individuals. Go give them a follow. Take a look into their stream. Perhaps maybe their stream may not be for you. That's okay. Maybe through their stream, you find someone else that you enjoy to watch. So I kind of see my community as being a bridge to everybody else in our area, in the creative categories, the music, all of the above, to kind of push everyone to experience as much as possible on this platform and what it has to offer, because there's so much talent and so much fun, and sometimes mellow, and sometimes chill, and sometimes exciting. And so everyone has their own way of looking at and enjoying what everyone does on this platform. And you can find it. You can find it here. It's here somewhere. Something that you really enjoy. And I like to help be the bridge to get you there.
I appreciate the bridge comparison. I love that, because there are, like you said, there's so many different types of creators out there. There's so much different in terms of like channels, of vibe, like you name it. There's a different type of channel out there and creator behind it for everyone. And
community.
Mm-hmm. I think it's great that you see yourself as a way to connect all those different places. The command idea is really cool. I really like that. I think in the chat, people, Yogurt Girl said that's a great idea. I like that a lot, where you can say, "Hey, you're looking for more people that do this kind of thing. Just type in the command, and here's some people you can check out." Yeah. I like that a lot. I think it's underutilized, and in fact, I think that's definitely one method to continue to
Yeah.
put other people in front of the
Use it,
chat.
do it, take it, steal it, use it, whatever. Let's, share. Shouting, the shout out command, the shout outs that Twitch has enabled for us, the SO command, all that stuff, those are great. And we can highlight, but it's limited. And
Yeah.
even the mass shout out that Siri gives us, only has a limit of what, like 6 streamers or what, 9 or something like that. You were talking about that the other day. So that just is another way to give a shout out in a sense, because you are shouting out, and the people within my commands may not be the ones that you put in your commands, and that's perfectly great. That's wonderful. So use the idea, and like I say, those are people that I know, that I enjoy, that I see, that I feel comfortable and confident in sending people to, because you never, if you're not familiar with someone's content and you send someone there, so it could be a little bit iffy, and you don't know.
Yeah.
So it's not singling anyone out by not putting someone in those commands. It's that, that you miss somebody. I mean, again, it's a work in progress all the time. And it's not, it's not meant to leave anyone out at all. It's meant to share across the platform and, bring us all together.
I completely agree with that. And I think that's amazing. And I think I personally want to reflect on like how I can make that work well on my channel. But I love that idea of like, here's some people that you can look at, and maybe you'll find your next favorite streamer. Or maybe you'll find a connection to that next person that you want to like.
Or maybe you might find a new craft or a new medium to work in.
Totally. Yeah, I love that too. And the fact that we're in the maker space, talking about the maker space, there's so many different ways to actually get involved with a different hobby or a different craft of some kind or art. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Yep. And that is something admittedly I miss about, because for those that don't have the context, a lot of the Lego people used to be in makers and crafters because there wasn't a Lego category. And I do miss that a lot about the category, because when I was in it as a Lego creator, I would look for the next person to raid to, or I would be browsing. I still go there as a category, but when I'm looking to raid, I have to make the point to also pull it up separately, since I'm no longer in the category streaming it as often as I used to. And I miss that about makers and crafters, in that there's so many different people doing different things. And it always led me to finding someone doing something maybe I didn't think of, right? I was like, oh, this is cool. This is a cool craft. I think I found someone who was working on guitars, who was just like, oh, I'm making a guitar. I'm like, this is cool. Right. Watching and I was just browsing makers.
I can introduce you to all the luthiers. I love them. Yeah. I know them all.
I was going to say, you probably know them all at this point. So
Orbiter Guitars, B. Bumstead, The Guitar Show Oz. Yeah. Get in there.
I was going to say, I recognize a couple of those names. I was going to say, you can give me a list on the spot. Yeah. That's what I appreciate. And I've always noticed that about you. Like, you do know, like, here's, I got you. Like, here's someone that you can check out.
Who do you want to see? Wait, I got you. Yeah.
What do you?
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say a couple years ago, I did a collab with Hank Budd Guitars. He no longer streams. He actually opened a new shop and was working, to get that going. So he had stopped streaming, but he and I did a collab where he made a guitar. Mm-hmm. He sent it to me. He's up in Canada. Mm-hmm. He sent it to me, and I did the artwork and did the wood burn on that. And then I sent it back to him, and he put it all together. So that's one amazing collab that we did. And on my channel trailer that I have is the moment that we finished it. So you can see the beauty of that turnout. So it was a lot of fun collabing with Hank to do that. And I just love it.
That's incredible. And I want to take a moment and talk about that like collaboration between the different disciplines, right? Or the
Mhm.
different crafts and arts out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that do you like the most in terms of working with someone else in a space that isn't just what you do?
I love it. I think it's great. I think what it does is it opens up you as a person, number
Mm,
one, to bring out a different something different in yourself, because you're of course you're utilizing your talent to enhance someone else's,
mhm.
and vice versa. So you're working together to do that, and I think that that is kind of the more important thing. But it also brings an amazing challenge, to work with someone else to create something together that is phenomenal, or could go south if you don't communicate and work with each other, right?
Right.
So it could go badly. I remember when Hank and I were talking about the guitar, and I was like, well, what do you want me to put on it? Do you have any specifics? It's like, no, do whatever you want. So I kind of knew that he didn't, that he, there were certain things that he didn't want, but he just didn't want to say. And so
Right.
what I did is I actually drew up 5 different versions of what I could do on that guitar. So I have 5 different, actually 6, I think. And the first one I went with was the one that I knew he wouldn't want, because I
Mhm.
was trying to force him to communicate better and say, and tell me what he wanted, right? And so, and he's like, oh, well, I don't. So then he kind of, and that was one that I really liked, and it was cute and everything, but it wasn't what I wanted to finally do, but I knew that it would push him. So it also allows us a chance to work together with someone to help push each other into directions that perhaps maybe we wouldn't go in, because we're too shy, or we just don't want to step out of place, and we don't want to, don't want to ruin the dynamic or whatever. Sometimes you have to be honest in your work. You have to be honest in your art, and especially when you're collaborating with someone, you want it to represent both of you in the best manner possible, and to have the satisfaction of that result in the end. So that's really important, and that's what I like about it, is that challenge and that communication, and really pulling out of each other, um, to your best.
Yeah. You have to be honest in your art is probably one of
Yes.
the coolest things I've heard on this show. And it's so true. You have to be uh real with what you want and who you work with or talk to on this
Mhm.
platform, especially when you're collaborating. You want to make sure you're communicative and that you're open, because then I think that's
Yeah.
when you get the best out of people, right? Is when
Yeah.
you're just
Because if you
honest.
don't, then it goes sour, and then look what happens. You've ruined that possibility of something in the future. Someone's disappointed. Someone's unhappy. Someone isn't glad to have been a part of it, and they don't like their art being represented in that way.
Yeah.
So you really have to make sure that you're doing when you're doing collaborations with people, that you are honest about it.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work out and you can't move forward on it, that's okay too. It just means that you had a difference of opinion, and that your art styles or art ideas were not going to mesh, and it wouldn't have worked anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How do you find people that you want to collaborate with? How does that work for you?
Um, I don't know. It just kind of happens, really.
Fair answer. Fair answer.
It's hard. It's harder for me to collaborate with people because, Pick Stitch and I have been trying to do a collab for a really long time, but
Mhm.
he's in an area where he cannot have proper ventilation, which is what is required when you're doing wood burning.
Yeah.
I have the setup, right? So I've got my exhaust fan in my window. We talk about safety, how important it is to make sure that you have proper air ventilation flow, that you have a good, safe space to create. Most people who want to collaborate with me want to do wood burning. They're really into it, but they can't because of their space. So, finding other things that we can do. I'm not a gamer. I've tried when I was younger and it just never worked. But I really enjoyed watching my brothers play. So I'm more of an observer than,
Yeah.
but all around in general, I'm just an observer, period. So I don't do gaming, but I'm open to any other crafts that can be done or learned.
Yeah.
I don't know everything, so I'm always open to learning something. So, if Pix wanted to teach me how to do, some stitching, I've done that when I was younger, so I know a little bit about it, but it's been so long. Or if someone else wants to do some painting with me or whatever, because I'm a painter, and even if I wasn't, there's just many opportunities that I don't limit myself because we can't do wood burning together. Doesn't mean that we can't do something together that I would have no problem focusing in on with.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
whatever opportunity comes through, it just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. And that's totally acceptable too. If it falls into your lap, or you see someone that you're like, this would be great. Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally understand
Yeah.
how that works. With wood burning, I've been meaning to ask you more about that. And I think maybe some people know, but like what got you into it, and what kind of made that the thing that you got into?
Well, I tried my hand at painting, and I've done quite a bit of painting, but I just never felt confident in it. It just wasn't, I wasn't creating what I wanted. It just wasn't looking right. And I wasn't understanding the concept of the different colors that you could create and things like that. Some of that math it's math. Some of that math is a little bit harder for me. So I was on Instagram and I saw somebody wood burning and I was like, whoa, okay, what is this? So I kind of just dove down the rabbit hole and I thought, could I do this? Maybe I could do this. And so I kind of dove in. I got myself a little beginner wood burning tool, just, something simple. It was like $15 at the craft store. And I printed out a coloring page from somewhere and I just traced it on the wood. In fact, I have my very first, this is my very first wood burning piece right here that I ever did.
That's awesome.
And I was like, yeah, I love it. I'm going to do this.
I love that.
I'm like, yeah, I think I like this.
That is so cool.
So I just kind of progressed and continued and kept working on it. And every time I do a new piece, I just get better and better at it and learn new techniques and ways to create the image that I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I talk about a lot is works in progress. Don't be ashamed of your WIPs. Let them build up, because here's the thing. I will have several pieces here, many pieces where I have tried and I've started, right?
Yeah.
So I have many, many pieces here. This piece I started probably 4 years ago and it's still not finished. And the reason it's not finished is because I had not at the time figured out the best way to do shading on the face.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the best thing to do when I get to a certain point, also the fact that this is pine wood, which is harder to burn on, doing shading is even more difficult. So what I'll do is I'll just put that to the side.
Right.
Sit there. I'll start another project.
Yeah.
And through that project, guess what? I learned that skill that I need to go back to this project to finish it off.
Yeah.
So never be afraid of your works in progress. Never be afraid that you got a pile sitting over there. I want to see those because to me, that is a history of your development.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that's a great way to approach it. Mm-hmm. I think people want to finish a project, right? Or they want to say, here's the thing that I did, when really, but when really we just need to sometimes, like you said, step away, do something else, work on something else, and you'll maybe pick up the skill that you need to go back and finish that other project. Or maybe you look at it through more experience or a different set of eyes once you've
Mhm.
looked at a couple other things, and then you can come back and do that. I don't think enough people actually really think about it in that sense, because I think we're all wanting to complete
We
something,
want to
right?
do it now. We want it now, want it done now. And it's like,
Yeah.
give yourself the okay to not have to do that.
Hmm.
I think we live in that society where it's like that instant gratification. We can't if it's more than 30 seconds, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, it takes time to learn these things. And, getting into wood burning, I went to it naturally. I loved it. I enjoyed it, and I was like, this is what I want to do. But where I am today with some of my intricate shading and work that I do, that didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It took me some time. And so getting that push into it, just finding it and saying, this is what I really want to do and enjoy and I want to expand on, and just expanding on it every single piece that I put in front of me, every idea. If I can't, I have so many ideas in my head that I can't get them out to my fingers, to the paper, to the canvas. But sometimes you can get part of it out.
Yeah.
And so let that part come out, put it to the side,
Yeah.
come back to it, and the rest will come. I have sanded off complete works that I've started, and I was like, no, because now coming back to it, I can do that so much better.
Yeah.
So this is gone, and now let's start it again. And it turns out exactly how I envisioned it in the first place.
Yeah.
But because now I have that skill level to achieve it.
That's really what it is when it comes to growing within your craft, right? It's
Mhm.
about trying it, seeing what works, maybe deciding it's not where you want it, trying again.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit more until you get closer. Because I think a lot of us who do a craft or an art of some kind, I think we have a good idea of what we want when we try to make
Yeah.
something. And like you said, sometimes you don't quite make the thing you want, and then you start over, or you come back to it, and then you eventually get it to that place that you're seeing in your head. I think
Yeah.
that's really what building any of these skills are, right? When it comes to
Yeah.
a craft or an art or anything that we make and do, it's really about practicing, looking at it, understanding what it needs to be to get to where you want it to go. So,
But you can take that practice within an everyday thing in your life.
absolutely.
You don't have to accomplish everything right now.
Yes.
I have been a DIYer my entire life, ever since I was a kid, and I used to watch public television in home time, right?
Yeah.
In this old house. And so I love to pick up a hammer and paintbrush, and I've torn down walls, and I've hung drywall by myself, and I've laid flooring, and I do remodels and stuff like that. It's something that I've always enjoyed, but I didn't learn that overnight. I had to take a step at a time.
Yeah.
My job, I just started this job that I'm in I'm going to be on my 8th year here. And I didn't know anything when I first started. I had to start from scratch, and I had to learn this and I had to learn that. And now I'm a subject matter expert in the platform that we use to do our job every day.
Yeah.
And I'm the one people come to help them learn it. And we're going to be switching to a new platform here soon that I'm going to be responsible learning and being part of that training team. So just know that just taking that into yourself and just knowing that you have it within you to build for yourself. It's just like building from building a Lego set from the ground up. You see the instructions, you do it. And then after a while, I see people, and not on this platform, build without instructions. Just kidding.
No, I love that.
But we just came back from Brick World, and look at the amazing imagination of those people who have done those mock builds. And they just didn't throw some pieces on the floor and put them together. It took them some time to learn how to do that. So just have the confidence in yourself. Be okay with failure. Be okay with it not working out the first time. Don't be afraid to take it apart and try again. Just give yourself that grace and allow yourself to learn. You don't have to be all right now.
Yeah, I completely feel the same way when it comes to a lot of like just it's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to maybe not hit the mark that you're trying to go for the first try. A lot of it is just doing the thing until you are able to get the outcome that you're wanting, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
it's not going to happen the first time. Sometimes it's going to take several tries. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And don't be afraid you're running out of time.
I hear people say that too, right? We're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's no way I'll be able to do this, or there's no way there's going to be enough time to do whatever.
I got to do this by the time I'm such and such an age, or this or that and the other. It's like, come on, you have to release that mindset. You have to
Totally
let go of what society's expectations have put on everyone. You do what you do in your own time.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anybody else. I don't care about nobody else. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I just, I do my own thing. I live my potential every single day.
That's what I appreciate about you. That is one of the coolest things about Karen Day, in my opinion, is that she does not care about what the rest of you think. And I and that's what I love about it. And I try to embody that myself. And sometimes when I'm either just lurking in your stream, or like I hear you talking in another, talking to someone else about whatever it is that you're covering. I love that you're just like, just do what you need to do. You're like, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Because in the end, it's all you.
Yeah.
Like,
it's for you.
That person doesn't matter. This person, the world doesn't matter, right?
Totally.
We make our impact in our bubble. And this is I like this analogy because people worry all the time about like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I not helping the world? Am I not making the world a better place? I can't donate. I can't participate. I can't go here. I can't do that. I can't, you know what I mean? It's like, so I look at it like this. This is my bubble. This is me right here. This is what I can do. I can be a good person. I can do the right things. I can maybe lend an ear to a friend or offer some advice that might help somebody. But this is my bubble. Amor, you have a bubble.
Yeah.
Brooks O'Brien has a bubble. Miro has a bubble. Guess what happens when all of our bubbles stand next to one another? We grow.
Yeah.
That is how we impact the world, one bubble at a time.
Absolutely.
Because that's the only way that we can do it, because we not every single one of us has the ability to financially support something huge or or get involved in something major to make an impact. Every single day in your bubble is how you make the impact.
Yeah.
And so just do the best in your bubble. I mean, that's
do your best. I know. Bubbles O'Brien is Bubbles O'Brien would say. No.
New username change. When?
Yeah, username. What can we? You tell us, Brian. What will
I can expand on this I want to expand on this for just one. This is my original character that I created, and his name is Bubbles.
Yes,
he is Bubbles the ghost. Okay, Bubbles likes to pop in and cosplay into every possible thing that he possibly can.
I love it.
St. Patrick's Day, Easter. We have a lot of creations for Bubbles to happen. But the whole thing around Bubbles is that he's not afraid to do something different. He's not afraid to share what he loves with everyone else. So he is Bubbles. He is his own bubble. He is sharing everything that he possibly can. And so that's why I just want to tell people, look, you are you. You are unique. You matter. What you do every single day has an impact on the world, no matter how small or how large. Just be you. Be you. I mean, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Because if that's the bubble you want to create, then guess what? You're going to generate a bunch of other asshole bubbles. I hate to say it,
It's
but
true.
that's the way that the world works.
Yeah.
So you're going to attract those. So just, just be a genuine human being in your bubble and watch it expand and see how much impact you actually make in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is some great advice from Karen here. I hope you're all listening. And I mean, it applies to everyday life. It applies to how you do everything, and also, of course, streaming content creation too. Like, I think there's a lot of valuable lessons there about being able to be who you are, and like you said, if you're an asshole, you'll also get more assholes, in your life.
That's what you're going to attract.
Yeah, you get what you give, right? Like, if you put out good vibes, if you put out, encouraging mentality and that kind of community centric focus, then that's what you'll get, right? And so I think that's really important, because people get lost in their other feelings, or they get lost in other focuses, and they forget that more often than not, if you yourself are trying to be more positive or do good, that is what you will attract. It comes back.
Right.
It comes back to you and what you do, and that applies in life. That applies in what we do here on Twitch and all these other platforms. I love that. And
yeah. It really makes a difference. But you also have to be mindful too about it not being the toxic positivity. You don't want to overdo things and
absolutely
be like, oh, positive this, positive that. We can't all be positive every single day.
Right.
And that's perfectly fine.
Right.
You shouldn't be positive every day. We have to feel every emotion. We have to go walk through every emotion. Look, we have to go through it to get through it.
Yep.
You've got to walk it,
whatever
that may be. And so just make sure that what you're doing impacts you daily.
Yeah.
In order for it to impact anywhere else.
Yeah. Now we know a lot about like how you are approaching things, how you like to do content and live your life, which leads me to this next part. Like, where is this all going? Like, what are we trying to, what's in the future for Karen and everything that Karen's going to be doing on Twitch and going forward as Karen Day? So what are you going to be doing?
Well, I never approached Twitch in any other manner than just getting on and streaming and hanging out with all you guys, all the peeps, everyone in the chat, all over across the platform. I've never had huge ambitions to be a partner or do anything major or have a huge following. I'm not a content creator. I'm horrible at posting on Instagram. My YouTube videos are 2 years old, so it's like,
totally. Yeah.
I just like to be here and create in the moment, in the time that I am, and share that when I can. And every once in a while, I'll pop a photo up, do a story or whatever.
Yep.
I don't have any huge goals or anything, but what I did delve into last year was doing my first charity stream for St. Jude, which was wonderful. It gave me an opportunity to see how to navigate that from the side of a streamer. I've always been involved with other streamers in modding and just participating for those who've been doing campaigns. And so it was my turn to kind of learn a little bit, and it went great. It was fun. We had a great time, and I really, really enjoyed it. This year, I have the pleasure of joining you all with the Stand Up Builders for Stand Up to Cancer. So I'm looking forward to that. But also, exclusive announcement coming up. I am so excited to share that yesterday. Okay, let me back up.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do cancer, and a lot of people do the kids and all the things. A lot of things that I don't see on this platform is animal rescue. I am a huge animal rescue advocate. I've done many auctions where I've donated pieces for National Mill Dog Rescue, for their auctions and things like that. Another passion of mine are elephants. And one of the major organizations, federation of the global, I want to get it right. The Global Sanctuary for Elephants. There's one in Tennessee and there's one in Brazil. And what they do is they relocate elephants who have been either have been in circuses or performance and have lived most of their lives in captivity or in, horrible conditions, but may also be in, left in zoos and things like that at this point. So their mission is, of course, to rehabilitate, relocate, and provide them a nice retirement in an environment that is suitable to their species. Just recently, the Global Elephant Sanctuary in Brazil has been hosting, and their auction is open until Monday. They have been holding a treats and trunks auction for raising funds to relocate the last 2 elephants in Argentina in captivity to their sanctuary in Brazil. They had a giveaway. You could donate and get you could donate to win a chance to go to Brazil to the sanctuary, a once in a lifetime chance, opportunity, life-changing experience, and your girl won the contest.
What?
So I am going to Brazil.
You're going to Brazil? Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
That is incredible.
Oh my gosh. I was there yesterday and they're live, and they picked my name. It was weird because I had my email up over here, and I had the Facebook, I had the YouTube, I had the Instagram. They had all their lives going.
Wow.
And all of a sudden they're getting ready to draw it, and I see the email pop up and says, "You won the thing." And I'm like, what? Because of the delay, right?
Yeah.
And then my name appears on the screen and I'm like, oh my gosh, here I am. I've been supporting these guys for years. I've been watching them rehabilitate and bring these elephants, life-changing elephants from ages 25 up into their 60s who have had lifetime of abuse and captivity, and they are now at sanctuary, and I've seen them come to sanctuary and just completely blossom and develop in the habitat. And it has always been a dream, just imagining just the possibility of even going there. They're not open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
These elephants deserved their retirement. They've served humans long enough. So this is an opportunity for them to thrive in an environment that is cohesive to their lives, the way that they should have been their whole lives. So it's not open to the public. So this is a once in a lifetime chance.
Wow. That's incredible.
I'm so excited. I can't.
That's got to be a dream come true for you.
Oh my gosh. And man, I manifested the shit out of that, let me tell you. I mean, I was meditating on it. I was thinking about it. I was owning it. It was mine. Yeah. And that's the power of manifestation. It was mine. I was looking up, making sure, how do I get there? Do I got to get a visa? Do I, I'm looking at all the things. I'm just making it mine. And sure enough, there it is. But it has always been my hope, being on this platform, to be able to contribute more to doing charity. And, nothing against kids. So no one goes out there and say, Karen hates the kids, or Karen hates people with cancer. Because no, that's not the way it is. It's an underserved area on this platform. Even though we have several, we have the ferret rescue and we have the sanctuary in Florida that live stream, and, that there's plenty of representation, but not actual charity campaigns like a St. Jude or a Stand Up to Cancer in process for animal advocacy. So that's something that I want to do, and I have no details yet on the adventure, but I'm hoping that I might be able to stream from there. Maybe they do live streams all the time, so I'm hoping to do some fundraising for them. Some fundraising for the National Mill Dog Rescue, those kind of things. So going forward in the future, that's what I hope for. My stance or my platform has never been based on coming on Twitch and doing subathons or celebrations for me. It's always just been hanging out and having a good time, and I never push that kind of stuff. But to bring, since I have, like we talked about earlier, the bridge, and I have the ear of a lot of different people, and I know that there's many animal people out there who everybody loves animals, right? Everybody does, and if you don't, that's okay too. I'm not faulting you for it, maybe a little. But I think that it could do well and serve very well on this platform, and that's kind of where I want to go going forward. So
I love that.
Long story longer. that's where we're going.
I love that. I think it's really great that you have something that you are really excited about. I think that you have found a direction in terms of like you do all these other things too, but like this is cool that you have another cause that you can add to all the things that you already do that you can focus on. And I think that this will be an incredible opportunity for you getting to go to the sanctuary in Brazil. That is going to be just incredible. I'll be following the adventure as much as I can from here. So yeah, I do hope you get to do some streams or at least produce some kind of, stuff that we get to hear about, how that's going.
I'll have to make Brian proud of making some content, Do
it for Bubbles O'Brien.
Bubbles O'Brien.
I love that so much. It's very cool. I didn't know specifically about, your support for this specific cause. And I'm really excited for you to see just how that goes. I think that it is an incredible, like you said, it's a very, it's not public, it's very private facing thing. Not everyone can go there. So the fact that you who have supported this for so long get to actually go out there and be there and see it for yourself, that's going to be just incredible.
I'm just blown away. I'm just,
yeah.
I'm just so excited and I can't wait. So more details to come.
Can't wait to hear more. Keep us posted. I will be following closely so I can hear about your adventures and
if you want to know more about the sanctuary, we'll be streaming later today and talking about it a little bit more, and we'll have all the details and links to
absolutely
the charity for the Trunks and Treasures charity auction that's going on right now.
Great.
Brian might want to get in there because there's some vacations on the line, so
and he needs one.
He needs one.
Yeah.
But come on over later and we'll talk about it some more and provide some more details to get you hooked up with what we're talking about. So,
I think that's great. I cannot wait to hear more about it. I will definitely get those links from you too and add it to the show notes for people who want to learn more.
Oh, great.
So
great.
Yeah, cannot wait to hear how that goes, because that's just
a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful. That sounds like an incredible I think adventure. So
it's so
I love it.
Soon,
wow.
Exactly.
Wow, I don't even know how to follow up on that, because that's just incredible news. I'm just sitting with it, trying to figure out where to go next. That's really cool. I can't wait. I can't wait to like, at the very least, after it's all been said and done, I can't wait to just hear about the experience from you, because that's going to be very cool. It's going to be very cool. So
exciting. And I'm happy. I'm excited to get to be able to share it with everyone, with all of you and everyone, the communities abroad, across, because it's not just about me. It's just, I happen to be able to be the one to go and share it, so I'm representing all of us, to show our care.
That's incredible. That's just incredible. I got no follow-up. I'm kidding. No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy for you. That's incredible news. Congratulations. I cannot wait to hear about it all. So that that feels like a once in a lifetime sort of thing to get to do. And
Yeah.
the fact that you get to do it, and that how incredibly important it is just as an initiative, but also to you personally. Like, that's very cool that you get to do that. So yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That is why that is not what I expected at all. I didn't know what I know, because you were saying to me, I have a big announcement. And I was like, what can it be? What can it be? Because I was like, and you yourself have noted, like you're here, you're doing this for you. This isn't anything that you're seeking to make it, like the content side, right? The Twitch side of it. Like, you're not looking to do any of that. It's like, what could this announcement be? Because I was like, that doesn't sound like anything. And I couldn't figure. There it is. So there it is. There, I figured it out. Wonderful stuff. I love it.
This is the day we threw a more off his game.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know anymore. One question I do have, which is completely unrelated, which can, because this is me trying to figure out where to go next. You do the wood burning.
Yeah.
And the question that I have is, how does someone get started in wood burning? And I'm sure you get this all the time, but like, for the people that are listening today that may not have heard your thoughts on it, how do you get started in it?
Very simply, all you need is we'll use our raid Jenga. We're building a Jenga game here for our raiders. So if you raid into the channel, I'm going to take a raid Jenga block, and I'm going to write your name on it.
Yeah.
Write your name on it, but I'm going to do it with fire. So I'm going to burn it. But basically, this by doing this, when someone raids into the channel, especially if they've never been in before, if it's a new community coming through, it gives me the opportunity to do just that. Explain to you how easy it is to get started in wood burning. All you need is a blank piece of wood that's unfinished, has no paint, no varnish, no nothing on it, just completely unfinished. A simple wood burning tool, such as a soldering iron, which might be in a drawer in your garage somewhere. A lot of people do have those. Or you can get a beginner wood burning tool like I had, that I started with, about $15 at your craft store. Sometimes you can find them for $10, wherever you go, Ace Hardware, Harbor Freight, whatever. Or you can upgrade to a wood burning wand like I use on a regular basis. The best thing to do is just turn it on, touch the wood, write some letters, draw some circles, do some squares, print out a coloring page, trace it on a piece of wood, and try to do the outline of the image. It's that simple. You don't have to be an artist. You don't have to draw. You don't have to get all of that will come as you explore the craft. But that is the best and easiest way to get started in wood burning. It's that simple. Yeah. The other thing, though, that we did touch on a little bit earlier is we always want to exercise safety. We want to make sure that, breathing is, a luxury that we have, and we all need to breathe. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that our air is clean. So you want to make sure safety is your top priority. First of all, you don't want to burn yourself with your tool. That is not fun. But you want to make sure that your air is clear. So make sure that you have proper ventilation, that you're not in an enclosed room. If you're burning really heavy, which sometimes I do if I'm doing some heavy dotting or something, you may see me wearing a mask just to give me that extra level of protection. But we want to make sure that you're doing this in a safe environment. Smoke is dangerous. As time goes on, you will learn the different species of the wood that you may use. That wood there are some woods out there that are very toxic, very irritating to when that smoke comes up. It could be very irritating to your sinuses, to your lungs, to your throat, everything. So you want to make sure that you are learning about the different species of wood, so you don't go burning into something that's incredibly toxic. But basically, that's how you get started.
That's incredible. Easy.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
It all starts with squares and circles, man.
Yeah, and
right in the alphabet.
Right in the alphabet. And I've seen you explain this a number of times to people, and I think for me the surprising thing is just how like easily you can just get started. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it is a very simple thing, but I think some people complicate things more than they really should, and they wonder like, oh, what do I need
Well,
to do?
when you start getting into like some of the intricate details and of specific things, like you get into some shading and some dotting and some different elements in the skills that you'll use to create these specific images.
Yeah.
It's not unlike any other art, painting, drawing, what have you. You have to learn the ins and outs of that to create the image that you're trying to convey. So over time, you definitely will create those skills, and that's was we were talking about setting aside works in progress. You don't have the skill to complete exactly what you want to right now, but you're going to learn it over time. So just get started. That's it.
Yeah.
You just get started in anything.
Yeah.
Just pick it up and do it.
Just do it. Just try it. Just try it out.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I learned a long time ago that we have very short time on this planet, in this lifetime, in this earth.
Yep.
And there is a bazillion things to be done that could be done while we're here.
Yep.
But we cannot do it all. So for me, what I do is I pick and choose what is interesting to me or what's most important to me. And I don't worry about the other stuff. I don't have to do it all.
Yeah.
But I don't limit myself to one or another. I'm always open to trying something different. I'm always open to trying something new, because within that, you could find a new passion, a new love. You don't have to stick to the same thing your entire life. Don't lock yourself down. Explore, go on adventures, try new things. Just enjoy life and what it has to offer. There's too much nonsense. There's too much chaos. There's too much awfulness in this world. The happiness and the joy starts with you.
Yeah.
And what you love, what you enjoy, what you want to create. It starts with you. Make it happy. Make it happy and make it happen.
Wow. You're just dropping so much wisdom on me today. This is great. This is good.
That's what I do.
No, it's what you do. This is like when hanging out with you at TwitchCon or when I get to see you in person is totally like that, and that's why I appreciate about your perspective. It's really
Come sit by me.
I love it. I love it. It's very gosh. It's just it fills me with joy to be able to have these conversations with you. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, it fills me with joy too. I love you more.
Oh.
When I talk about you, I just like, hanging out with you, talking with you in your streams, in person, whatever. It just feels like home. You feel like home. And I know that a lot of people feel that. You just provide that sanctuary to the ills in the world for us. So I just love you for that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I love you too for that. When you say it feels like home, I feel the same way. I think back to that night. It was the night I think we all got there for TwitchCon, right? It was like me, you, Brian, and Astro hanging out, having like a drink and like getting ready to. I think it was end the night, right? It was like the end of the night, and yeah, no, I love those conversations. We're just hanging out, talking about just life and just hanging out, and I love that. It's always cool getting to know you, and I really appreciate your perspective. I think if anything, this conversation has been really great. Just as a natural, like, this is how you should just approach things in general with life, right? And it's I think sometimes people need to like get perspective on what's important and how to appropriately make those choices. I think for yourself.
Yeah. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to I know for people out there are people out there who have, diagnoses and things like that do inhibit those things. But even under those circumstances, in little ways, you can always improve your environment by just believing in yourself, and not being afraid to try. And being able to try something is a solitary it's a solitary thing. It doesn't involve anyone. You don't have to pull up a stream just to try to do some art. You don't have to go out anywhere to try to do something productive that you might enjoy. Um, it's beneficial because you might get help somewhere that someone will guide you in a way, and maybe you'll start on your own and you'll learn with it, and then you'll need to seek further guidance because you want more. You found a joy in it and you're like, oh, I really want to dive into this now. So now that's another hurdle over, that you can go out and get some help, or pop up a stream for somebody who might be crocheting. You've just picked up your hook and you're like, oh, well, this is fun, I want to learn more.
Yeah.
How do I do Tunisian knitting? It's like you can find it. You can find the help out there, but just don't be afraid of living life. Just live it.
Absolutely.
Just live it. Whatever
just get
that
out
means.
there.
It's like stuff is going to go wrong. Things aren't going to go your way. You may be manifesting and trying to work towards something that you want so badly, but just remember that when you are disappointed that it doesn't happen, that just means it wasn't for you.
Yep.
The energy that you put into it was not wasted, because now you can take that and put it somewhere else that it's going to be more beneficial for you.
Yeah.
You will find your path. You will find anyone out there who's lost in any way. That path is out there. Just keep walking. Keep going.
Keep going. Just keep doing it. I think that's so valuable, and we get a lot of, I think, when we talk about people who try to share what they love here on Twitch, sometimes they get lost in the numbers or the the goal of growing, or whatever it might be, that sometimes ends up numbers based. Speaking as someone who's pushing for partner, which partner is an important thing for me, so I can do some amazing things with charity. And despite what happens, right? I'm going to either it's going to happen or it's not. And if it doesn't,
it's going to happen. You know why? Because from this day forward, Amor, this is what you're going to do.
Okay.
So Yogurt Daryl and I were standing outside of TwitchCon, and here comes Amor, right? He's coming out. He's going to go check his back, and I see him, and I'm like, oh, are you on your way to the partner party? Because guess what? I had already in my mind seen Amor as a partner.
I remember this.
I was just like, and I'm sure he was looking at me like, what are you talking about?
No, I just remember going, that would be nice. I just remember going, no, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to be there because I'm not a partner.
Right. But to me, you exude everything that is partner. And so it's already yours. You have to believe it.
Thank you.
So no more ifs.
Okay.
No matter what happens.
Okay.
It's just when we make partner, when this happens, when it happens, it's already yours.
Yeah.
That's how you make it happen. So going forward.
Thank you.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
You hear me?
I hear you. Okay. I'll sneak you partner nachos later.
All right. That's really all I'm in it for. Right?
Same. And actually, many of you have heard the recurring joke, so much that it's now an emote on my channel, right? Where it's more for nachos. That joke originated when I was hanging out with Karen. When I was hanging out with Karen and Astro and Brian that night that I just referred to, we, jokingly were saying, oh yeah, there were nachos. I was like, oh man, I want partner nachos. That'd be so sweet. And that became the joke, the platform at which I jokingly say that I will be partner for the nachos. So
exactly.
Oh, I love it.
But you will be. It's coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's coming.
I'm so glad that you were at TwitchCon, and I'm so glad that I got to hang out with you and see you. And I want to take the time to thank you for, this whole episode, I think, is testament to what I consider the Karen Day effect, which is is this ability to, like, you're very, like you said about me, I feel the same way about you. You feel like home when I talk to you. It's really nice to just have that conversation. Like, you're very real, you're very honest about taking things, I think one thing at a time, right? Like, just
Yep.
going with the flow. And I'm speaking that to that because I think you and I share that perspective a lot. Like, there's a lot of similarity in how we approach a lot of things. In that, I'm very much the same way. I'm very go with the flow. I'm just gonna. It is what it is. I'm going to accept it. Which is why something like going for partner, like, to be a little personal and honest here, is not something I would ordinarily do, and it's not something I would ordinarily make a point to focus on, but long term will allow me to do cooler things for charity, cooler things for all the people I work with in this show. But normally I'm very, it is what it is, go with the flow. I don't really care. Much like Karen says, I'm doing this for me. But this is one of those times where I've kind of stepped out of that so I can do something that's different, but also I think beneficial for the long term. So
and you have to see it, and you have to want it. You have to want to know that that's what you want to do. No one can force you to do anything. There's nothing that anyone has the power over you to make you do. It's all you. And if you allow someone to convince you or allow someone to push you into, it's not honestly yours. So and you will be miserable. You'll be miserable. You know, I've spent my entire life where people used to tell me, oh, you should be a rock star, you should be a singer, you should be on a stage, and you should be this and that and the other. And it's like, I should be a great many of things, but that's what you want for me. That's not what I want for me. I don't want that. So let's take that out of the equation. So once you realize in your life what you want for yourself, nothing else matters.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that, you're being, you're being oblivious to others' needs or, in your circle or things like that. It has nothing to do with that, because when you are true to yourself and you are handling what you want to handle, it opens up so much more to give to everybody else. Again, expanding that bubble.
Yeah, absolutely.
So remember that. Just remember that. Yeah.
So tell me, what does Karen Day want? What does Karen want?
I just want to be who I am every day. And that's what I do. I already do what I want.
I agree with that. Karen does what she wants.
I just do whatever I want. Like I don't answer to anybody except myself.
This is true.
And if I act out and I act up, then I let myself know about it and I deal with that, or if I, some people can call it abrasive or aggressive or intimidating or whatever. And it's like, I don't have any control of your perception.
Right.
I can only do what I do. And, and unfortunately, I've spent a lifetime being hated for that, for knowing who I am, knowing what I want, being honest, being confident in myself, loving myself. All the things that we tell everybody, make sure you love yourself, make sure you're, that's like the thing that everybody tells everybody else to do. But once you do it, people get a little bit crazy because they can't do it. And so they hate you for it because you can. None of that matters. None of that matters. All that matters is you, because once you take into yourself, you care about yourself, it opens up everything else for everyone else around you. And that will be apparent to others that you want to have around in your circle, right?
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah. Don't worry about those that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
They have their own circle.
That's what they can go be in their own circle. That is what I admire about you, is that you know who you are. You are honest with who you are, and you are. It's funny how you were listing all the things that some people might even take offense to, which is
Mhm.
stupid, but it sounds like you know what you want, you know who you are, and I think many people need to get to that point, right? I
Yeah.
think I think
It's
we
hard.
yeah we find it difficult to I think often
Yeah.
to make uh not amends, but like make peace with the fact, like, yeah, this is who I am, this is what I want, and it's okay to say those things, whatever those things
It
might
is.
be, as long as you're not an asshole, right? But like,
Yeah. Yeah.
being who you
I could
are.
be an asshole. Trust me.
Same
You
and
really don't want to be on my bad side, okay?
same. And yeah, it's interesting because I think personally, I've like you, I think I've caught hate for just speaking like my mind about things or how I feel
Yeah.
about uh whether it be just content creation or just how I stand on something in general. I've caught hate for that, and
Yeah.
some people just don't don't want you to be what who you are.
No.
Yeah,
Even though they'll sit there and tell you, be yourself, be who you are, love
yeah,
yourself, be confident, be all those things.
yeah,
But, and look, have healthy arguments with people. There's nothing wrong with that.
absolutely. Yeah,
Respectfully, because we're all going to look at things in this world differently.
yeah,
Every single one of us will not have the same opinion at some point or another about something because that's just the way it is. That's who we are. That's our makeup. That's how we learn. That's what we do.
yeah,
Um, but don't let that deter you from, from anything, from being a good person or from going down a certain path or, how you treat people. Just be respectful because you want to be respected. Respect the fact that, everyone's different and we will all have different opinions, different ideas of ourselves. Like, I'm not mad at you if you're not confident in yourself, but
yeah,
I'm certainly going to be there to help push you to be,
yeah,
right? I'm not
absolutely.
going to push you, but I'm going to support you in whatever decision you make. And if that decision is to not have confidence in yourself, I'm going to stand with you on that because that is you telling me that's what you want.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh, but you're so wonderful and you're amazing and oh, don't be so hard on yourself. But nope. Okay. If you feel that horrible about it, then stop doing it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't work on it. Don't even try to improve.
Yeah.
Because if you're, if you're that sure that it's absolutely impossible for you to do that, then you need to stop.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, when you do that, a lot of times people are like, whoa, no one's ever said that to me before. Maybe I am better than I think I am. And I think I'm going to continue doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, duh. Right? It's that tough love kind of thing.
It
It's
is.
like,
It is that tough love
I'm going to
sort
be
of thing.
real with you. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, and that again, that's what I appreciate about you is that honesty, that level of sincerity that you bring. I think it's it's refreshing. I wish more people were like that. I think I
Right?
think maybe that's my issue with some folks in general is I just wish they were more honest about
Yeah.
who they were. But
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. I do too. And you hate to see it
yeah,
because you know that there's more to certain people than they will ever allow themselves to be because they're of their own fears or their own, you know, bringing themselves self down or their what is it called? What is that? Oh shoot, I can't even think about it because I don't have it, which is imposter syndrome.
yeah, imposter syndrome. Yeah,
I don't have it. I don't even.
I love it.
Obviously, I can't even remember. It's like
I love
I
it.
have worked my ass off my entire life to be where and who I am today.
Yeah,
I deserve what I deserve, and that means good and bad, right?
yeah,
I'm not saying that I deserve everything good because I've no.
no,
I deserve what I deserve based on how I've performed and what I've done in my life, and I've
yeah,
worked very, very hard to on my talents. I've worked very, very hard on who I am as a person. I've worked very, very hard. I've worked for that.
yeah,
So there is no, When someone says, "Oh, that's great and wonderful," thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you recognizing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. There's a level of confidence that comes with that, and I think that's why some people experience imposter syndrome. I mean, I've experienced it. I work as a creative by day in game design, and I do this when I'm not working. And so I think for some people, when you are in a place where you're not really sure with your skill or ability, that is where things like imposter syndrome can really rear its ugly head.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I really appreciate your perspective, is because you speak as someone who has known who they are, understood who you are and what you want, and in that comes a lot of confidence and self-assurance and knowledge. And it doesn't surprise me that you wouldn't even remember the term imposter syndrome, because that's not a Karen Day sort of thing. But
yeah.
and I think people who experience imposter syndrome would do well to listen to a lot of the wisdom and perspective that you have, because I think at the end of the day, we don't give ourselves enough love, enough credit, enough grace, because I think that's how you avoid a lot of that imposter syndrome feeling, where you just got to give yourself that recognition of hey, you're, as long as you're doing your best, as long as you're being you and honest with yourself, you're good. Nothing can go wrong, right? And if something goes wrong, you roll with it, you pick yourself back up, you keep going.
Yep. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Because we're all going through phases in our lives. Things change.
Yeah.
Things ebbs and flow. I don't want people to think that I think I'm perfect or that everything in my life is perfect, because it isn't.
It isn't. Yeah.
I'm dealing with personal issues and things also, just like everybody else, that I have to get up every day and deal with.
Yep.
And so it's how you approach it is the key. And just live the best day that you can, know that you're not going to get everything done that you want to get done today. Know that you can't possibly accomplish a month's worth of work in a couple of days or what have you. Yeah. It's just not possible. None of us are superheroes. None of us have any superpowers to do any of that. You know what I mean? It's we just have to do it. We got to do it. So we might as well do it with confidence and love of ourselves.
Yeah.
Or else we'll just stay in bed all day.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, which I'm okay with.
There are days where I'm totally cool with that too. But yeah,
I have those days where I don't want to get out of bed. I can't get out of bed. It's tough sometimes.
Yeah, it's tough. It can be tough sometimes, and I think that's what's so I have this conversation with other creators all the time when it's oh man, this sucks, right? I'm having a hard time with this or that or the other. And honestly, when I hear those things, I give them as much empathy as I can. And I say, yeah, that really does suck. But what can you do to go forward? What?
Make it less sucky.
Yeah. What can you do to make it less suck for you? And like you said earlier, it's how you approach it. It's really how you deal with it. More often than not, it's how we it's how we react to the thing that is happening.
That initial reaction, right?
Right.
And that sets everything forth.
It totally is. And I feel like so many people would be in a place where I think they would be better set up to succeed in whatever that looks like for them, right? Whatever that looks, right. But what if they just focused on the, okay, how can I make this better for me, instead of just saying, oh man, this sucks, I guess I'm screwed again, right? And
stop having those conversations with yourself.
Yep.
Because we speak everything into being. So if that's how you're going to start the conversation with that reaction to something that's not going well or what have you, then it's going to continue to get worse.
Yeah.
In your mind.
Mm-hmm.
in your mind. It's not really that bad.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. A
Yeah.
lot of people love drama. They live for it. They love it. They survive off of it. They thrive off of it.
Yeah.
Drama is the go-to. It's for all of us. It's scientifically proven that, you know, that's where we go to when we have a situation. We always go to the negative.
Yeah.
Only you can change that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying don't have your pity parties, because we all have to have our pity
It
parties.
happens. You might need it.
Just don't sit in it.
Yeah.
Just don't sit in it. You know, it's
Yeah.
okay to feel those things. It's okay to have a negative understanding, a negative idea of something. It's perfectly all right. We have to express and experience every emotion that we are given as human beings.
Yeah.
But how you act on it and move it forward and think about it before you react. Just take a moment, you know?
Absolutely.
Step back before you type in chat, before you
Oh,
say
thank God,
something
yes.
that's going to get you banned. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
take a minute. Take a minute. Think about what you're saying, how you're reacting to your streamer. I mean, I'm kind of pivoting here, but like if your streamer's talking about something and you're thinking about it, and then you come back and you comment on it, and the streamer doesn't know what you're talking about, is because of how you phrased your conversation or what have you. Or the fact that you just jumped in on something, you just entered a chat and you don't know what's going on, and oh my God, the world's falling apart and everything's blowing up and exploding. It's like, is that really how you want to enter a room?
Yeah.
Because maybe people might look for a minute and then they're going to realize how silly you are.
Yeah.
And they're going to turn around. They're not going to look at you again. So just be mindful of how you react in every situation, personal or otherwise, because
mindfulness is so important. And, you know,
so important.
You make me think of, like, there was a creator that I very much appreciated a lot of their work. They were a gaming creator and pretty standard stuff. But I really enjoyed their stuff. But I think over the years, they kind of grew a little, I think, bitter about things, maybe for whatever reason. Maybe something's going on in their life. Maybe it's their YouTube and Twitch journey isn't going the way they wanted. But I started noticing in their streams or in their social posts that they were, like you said, you know, like they would live in that negativity, right? And I think there was a moment where I finally said to myself, I was like, I can't really consume that anymore, right? It's not really, and I think I think I gently tried to tell them that in a stream one time where I was like, you know, but you have all this other cool stuff going on. Things are, you know, good on these fronts. And they're like, yeah, but this sucks. And I'm like, okay. And I can't, you know, I can't support that. I can't be there for that. Cause if they don't want to focus on the good things, you know, it's not something I could stand.
And that's the thing. And that's the other thing too, is like that's your free will. You can step away from stuff no matter what, at any time, from anything. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone.
Totally.
You know, you don't got to tell me why you're coming and going. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I care because I care about you.
Yeah.
If you're having serious issues, you need professional help. None of us are professionals. We can't help you. I'll be there to support you if you need me.
Yeah.
You know, but I can't give you the help you need.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, you know, you just take responsibility for yourself, and just, you know, just know that you have that free will. You can step away from anything at any time. You don't have to stay anywhere that's not for you.
Yeah.
It's not for you. It's not for you. And don't explain it. You don't got to explain it.
Yeah.
You know, and anyone who like, if someone notices your absence, you know, they're not going to, a mature person who notices you're absent is not going to have any issues with it, because they're going to be understanding of that. Well, hey, maybe they just don't like my content. Maybe they just don't want to hang out with me anymore or whatever, you know. Stop taking things so personal.
Yes.
Everybody thinks that everything is personal and they got to explain themselves all the time. It's like, no, you don't. No.
Yeah. No, you don't. You're people. Again, the Karen Day effect is what I appreciate. It's true though. It's true though. And whoever that creator is up to that used in my example, I hope they're doing okay. But yeah,
Absolutely.
There's
no ill will.
Yeah, there's no ill will there. I don't even know how they're doing now because it's been a while since I've stopped showing up to their streams and stopped watching their stuff because I couldn't deal with it. But
maybe one day you'll stumble upon it because you'll be up in 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and you want to stumble on and they're on or something, and you just jump in there and just say to see what's new, what's happening.
Yeah,
maybe they don't even stream anymore because that situation dragged them all the way down and they did it to themselves.
It could be, it could be. And I hope they're doing well. It's one of those moments where I personally, where I quietly just stopped watching, right? Like, I think that one time I was like, hey, but maybe things are better. And they're like, no, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, got it. Like, and then I think I quietly closed the tab. That was the last time I was there. And
I think we can all confess and say that we've done that at one point or another, and that not everybody's content is for me.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I may love you to death, but I may not like what you do.
Totally.
And I'm not going to,
I have
nothing personal.
Again, nothing personal.
Nothing personal. It's like, stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I love these conversations with you, Karen. This is great. This is good.
Oh, thank you. I love chatting with you as well.
This has been great. I'm glad we got to sit down and just talk about you and the things that you do. And then you, of course, giving me the usual reassurances that Karen Dade loves to give. But I love the wisdom. You have such a great outlook on life, and I appreciate it. And I think more people would do well to listen to the things that you say, because you have a lot of perspective that I think people should hear. And thank you. Thank you for being here.
Well, I'm an observer, and I like people, and I like to watch people, and I have an intuitive nature. So I can read people. I can see things happening before they're going to happen. I've been able, if someone walks towards me, I already know how that interaction is going to go. Those kind of things. So I'm just observant, and in that observation, has been able to create a bank, basically, of understanding. I've been very interested in different cultures, religions. I've studied them. I've researched things just to have an understanding of people and how they think, how they do, how they operate. And in learning all of that stuff, I learned a lot about myself, and that just is stuff that is developed over time. And I think it's just important that when I can share that, I do, and this platform gives me another opportunity to do that I mean, I'm not out here preaching. I'm not a professional. Again, I don't, I can't give people some of the help they need.
Yeah.
But and I will avoid a lot of stuff too, because it's not my place. It's not, I'm not going to stick myself into situations. I'm not going to put myself in a position that I don't feel comfortable or confident in. So, those kind of things happen too. But thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. I know we've gone probably a lot longer, and sorry about your internet issues.
Yeah, no, I apologize for my internet. Like I said, I was on for like 9 hours yesterday, not a single hitch. And then I need it to work for like 2 hours, and it decides to go out on me like 3 times or more. And
maybe it's the AI watching, like, today's the day he spent too much time yesterday. We gotta slow him down.
Gotta slow him down. It's too much. Too much streaming.
Doing too much.
Well, I appreciate you, Karen. Karen Day is my name. Is where we can find you on Twitch, everywhere as well. Yeah. Please make sure that you all follow Karen. She's such like I said, she's just such a joy to get to talk to. Get to watch her do all the crafts or listen to her sing on her channel. I love it. It's great. It's great stuff. Please make sure you all go check her out over on all the places on the internet where you can find her. Karen, thank you. It's been wonderful.
Thank you. It's been great. It's been a good Sunday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. The final
That
thing
guy,
we
yeah.
we thank you. The thing we love to do, of course, is I like to let the guests do the closing remarks. So any final words, thoughts, advice, or just anything you would like to say to close it out, the floor is yours, Karen.
How's the reverb?
Great.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
All right, let's close it out. You ready?
Yes.
When I was young, I studied U.S. geography. The teacher said, "Would you stand up and sing the states for me?" My knees began to knock in, and the words they came out wrong. But I stood up and shouted out this silly little song. Alabama and Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, and Connecticut, and more, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, then Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, so 35 to go. Kansas and Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, good old Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska's 27, number 28 is Nevada. Next, New Hampshire, then New Jersey, then way down New Mexico. There's New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania. Now let's see. Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and there's Utah, Vermont, I'm almost through. Virginia, then there's Washington and West Virginia too. Could Wisconsin be the last one, or is it 49? No, Wyoming is the last state in the 50 states that rhyme. When I sat down all out of breath, the teacher said, "That's great. I must confess you were the best at listing all the states. But if you want to get an A for that silly little rhyme, then stand back up and sing that song, but do it double time." Alabama and Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, and Connecticut, and more, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, then Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, 35 to go. Kansas and Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, good old Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska 27, number 20 is Nevada. Next, New Hampshire, then New Jersey, then way down New Mexico. There's New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania. Now let's see. Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and there's Utah, Vermont, and almost through. Virginia, then there's Washington and West Virginia too. Could Wisconsin be the last one, or is it 49? No, Wyoming is the last state in the 50 states that rhyme. Wyoming is the last state in the 50 states that rhyme. Dun-dum-bum-bum-bum.